Are you hearing me, students? I Miss Tafsheen Imran. Please reply in the chat box. Students, are you hearing me? Please reply. I'm waiting for you. Abdullah Hassan, don't disturb. Reply, I'm waiting for you. Are you hearing me, students? Write in the chat box. Okay, very good, Minhal. Very good, Maham and Nawal. You have given me reply. Abdullah Hassan, I'm watching you. You are disturbing the class. You are making the lines here on the screen. Please don't disturb. If you are not interested, it is not the way to disturb the class. Okay? I'm just waiting for other students to come to join me, and after that I will start my class. Just waiting for a minute. This is your literature lecture today. Abdullah Hassan, if you want to ask anything, please write in the chat box. Okay? Abdullah Hassan, if you want to ask anything, please write in the chat box. Okay, Abdullah. You have accepted your mistake, so it's over. Now concentrate on the lecture. I'm starting my lecture. This is today's English literature lecture. I'm Mrs. Afshin Imran. This is lecture number 63. The topic is summarizing a poem. We have done the paraphrasing of the poem. Now we are doing the summarizing. First of all, you should know that what is a summary. So I have written the definition here. A summary is a brief statement. Brief means short. Short statement or account of the main points of something. Account means description. A summary is a brief statement or account of the main points of something. It means we are just writing the main points here in the summary. We are not writing the whole points given in the passage or in the lesson. We just pick out the main points and then write in the form of summary. A summary is a record in a reader's own words that gives the main points of a piece of writing. What happens when we are writing the summary? We are using our own words and we are not writing the words of the writer. Okay, I hope you are understanding. Now we have to do summary writing, so you should know about what is summary writing. A summary begins with an introductory sentence that states the text title, writer, and main point of the text. It means when we are starting a summary, we have to write in the first statement or in the beginning about the title of the passage which has been given and about the writer. And after that, we will write the main points. A summary contains only the ideas of the original text. We write the ideas of the original passage or the main points of the original passage in our own words. Do not insert any of own opinions. This is the main point of summary writing, that the writer who is writing the summary, he should not insert or add any points from his own opinions, or he is not allowed to add his own suggestions. He just have to copy the points which are given in the original passage but in the own words. I hope you are understanding. Now there are some steps of summary writing. Okay, I have written here in sequence. So the first step of summary writing is that find out the meanings of unfamiliar words. If you do not understand any of the word, you should find the meanings of these words first. Or you can say that so that you can understand and write the summary in your own words. Next step is to look at the title of the poem to see what is about. We are doing the poem here, or we can also do the lessons. So, but we are doing poem here, so I have written the word poem here in this statement or in this step 2. Look at the title of the poem to see what is about. It means you should read the title first so that you can understand what has to be written in the poem or what was the actual theme or the topic of the poem. Number third is read each stanza carefully and try to understand what it means. It means I have also written here about the poem, so I have written here about the stanzas. You know that stanzas are some lines combined together of the poem. Some verses of the poems are combined together, like 4 lines, like 6 lines. They are combined together to form the stanza. In Urdu, it is called band. So we should read the stanza carefully and try to understand its meanings. The fourth step is to read the complete poem to get the main idea, so that you can get the main idea of the poem or message of the poem. What is the poem about? Now there are some more steps of summary writing, in which in the first part of the steps of summary writing, I have told you how to write the summary or what do you want to read first. But in these steps of summary writing, I have written that what do you want to write. When you complete the reading of the poem, you have to write these things. Number one, write brief introduction of the poet. You have to write 2 or 3 lines about the poet. Number second, write the key message. Key message means the central idea of the poem. That means the theme of the poem. Next step, write the story in own words. That is actually the summary. Now the poem which has been given in our book is, the title of this poem is The Miller of the Dee. It has been given on page 196 and 197. Kindly don't open your cameras. It is not needed here. Now you know that I have told you the first step. Salman, Maham, please don't open your cameras. I have told you that first step, we have to write the introduction of the poet. So I am telling you how to write. These are 2 lines I have written about the introduction of the poet. This poem is written by a Scottish poet. Scottish means the person or the poet belongs to Scotland. He belonged to Scotland. You are not given to write the summary. I am just explaining. Okay, I will give you in the form of the assignment. Now I am continuing it. This poem is written by a Scottish poet and songwriter. He was also famous for writing his songs. His name was Charles Mackay. He was famous for his popular songs. He wrote many songs and he was very much famous for his songs. Now, first of all, I am reading the first stanza of the poem, The Miller of the Dee. It is like a story. I hope you will get more interest in it and you will understand carefully. Charles Mackay, I have told you the poet of the poem. There dwelt a miller, hale and bold, beside the river deep. He worked and sang from morn to night. Morn means morning here. No lark more blithe than he. And this the burden of his song forever used to be. I envy nobody. No, not I. And nobody envies me. This is the first stanza of the poem. I am giving you some meanings. I have told you that it is the first step to find out the meanings of the difficult words, so that when you write the summary, you can use your own words or you can write the meanings of those words easily. The first word came here, dwelt. Dwelt means lived. Second word, hail. Hail means healthy. Lark. Lark is a small bird. Blithe, without worries. Okay, I hope you are understanding everything. Now I'm giving you the brief explanation of stanza number 1. What was written here or what poet want to say us in this stanza. Actually, it is like a story of a miller and a king. Now I am starting it. There was a healthy and happy miller who lived beside the river Dee. It means there was a river Dee and there was a miller who was very happy and healthy about his life. Healthy because he was very much happy in his life and he was living beside the river Dee. He worked day and night in a lively manner. Lively means he was very much happy, so he was enjoying his work, which he did from day till night. He always sang that he did not envy anybody. When he was doing his work, he was enjoying a lot, so he was singing a song every time. And his song was, he did not envy anyone and nobody envied him. Envy means to be jealous of. So he said he was not jealous of anyone and nobody was jealous of him. I hope you are taking the interest. It is very beautiful poem and you are understanding it. Now, the first stanza is about the miller's life. But what happened? Something different in the second stanza. Now I am reading it. Thou'rt wrong, my friend, said old King Hall. Now I have told you that this is the story of Miller and the king. Now this stanza is whatever has been said by King Hall. Thou wrong as wrong can be. For could my heart be light as thine, I would gladly change with thee. And tell me now what makes thee sing with voice so loud and free, while I'm set, though I'm the king, beside the river Dee. Now there are some words which are from the obsolete English, which cannot be used now, like thou, thine, thee. These are some of the words which were used in ancient times. Now it is not, these are not used, but I want to give you the meanings of these words so that you can understand. These are the difficult words and meanings of stanza number 2. Thou, it means you are. Thine, your. Thee, you. Thou, you. Now I am telling you again that here you can see it means thou, thine, and thee. These words are used for Miller. King Hall was talking to Miller in this stanza. Okay. Now I am giving you the brief explanation of stanza number 2. The old King Hall said to him that he was wrong. Said to him means he was talking to Miller. that he was wrong. Miller was saying he was happy and healthy and nobody was envying him. And because of that, King Hall said he was wrong. The king told him that he was king, even he was still sad. Now, king said he was the king, he has everything in his life, all the facilities are there in his life, but he was still sad. He was not happy, like the miller. He asked the miller that how he was so happy and sang that song. Now, king was very much surprised how miller was so much happy. Even he was not a rich person, he was not a wealthy person. Why he was so much happy as compared to the king who has everything in his life? So he was asking why the miller was so happy and sang that song that nobody was jealous of him. I hope you are understanding and enjoying the poem. Now, the third stanza. When king was asking some questions to Miller, then the miller replied. The miller smiled and doffed his cap. I earn my bread, quoth he. I love my wife, I love my friend. I love my children three. I owe no penny, I cannot pay. I thank the river Dee that turns the mill, that grinds the corn, to feed my babes and me. Now, there are some difficult words which I want to show you their meanings as well here from stanza number 3. The first one is doffed. Doffed means took off. The miller doffed his cap, it means he took off his cap in respect of the king. Quoth, said, oh, be in debt. It means he was not owing anything from anybody. He was not having any kind of debt. Any kind of money he had taken from somebody, so he did not have to pay anything to anybody. In why? Be jealous of. I hope you understand the meaning of jealous. Jalan hona. Now, I'm showing you the brief explanation of stanza number 3. When king was asking some questions to miller, the miller replied that he earned his bread. Bread means all food, all type of food. He loved his wife, children and friends. He was very happy with his loving family as well as he was very happy with his friends. He loved them very much and he earned his bread. Whatever he needs to live a comfortable life, he earned everything. He had no debts. It means he had nothing to pay to anybody. He thanked the river Dee that ran his mill. The river Dee was near his mill. Do you know what is a miller? Actually, miller is a person who owns a mill and grind the corn in his mill, grind the flour in his mill, okay, so that he could feed his family. He was very much thankful to river Dee, which helps to run his mill so that he could live his life very peacefully and very comfortably with his loving friends, wife, and children. Now, there was another stanza when Miller replied the king. Then king again said some words to Miller. He said, good friend, said Hall, and sighed a while. Farewell and happy be. But say no more if thou dost say true, that no man envies thee. Thy mealy cap is worth my crown, thy mill my kingdom's fee. Such man as thou are England's boost, O miller of the Dee. Now here you can see that in this stanza, again some words from the ancient language has come here I will show you the meanings of these words like thou didst, thy. These are some of the words. Thy is also used for you, thou for you. Okay, I'm showing you the difficult words and their meanings of stanza 4. The first word is sighed. It means took a deep breath. Barna, okay, in Urdu. Farewell, cheers, to be happy or enjoy the life. Thou'dst, you would. Boost, source of pride. Source of pride means on the things or on the people to whom we are proud or we are feeling proud to somebody. Now, this is the brief explanation of stanza number 4, which I want to explain here. The king said, farewell to him. Farewell to him means he should be very happy. Cheers to him. And told him that his dirty cap means which the miller used in his mill, so it has become dirty by the floor or the working when he was working in the mill, had more worth. Worth means value than the king's crown. Now the king said he was wearing the crown. I know, I hope you understand the meaning of crown, Taj. He said that the miller's dirty cap has more value than his crown because it gives the happiness to the miller, but the crown gives sadness to the king. And his mill was precious than his kingdom. He was king was owing the kingdom and king was ruling over the kingdom, but kingdom was not giving him so much happiness as the mill was giving the miller. So he said the mill was precious than his kingdom. The king also said in the last that England was proud of a man like him. He said, because he was the king of England, so he said, England, the kingdom, was proud of a man like him because he was one of the happiest men here living in the kingdom of England. I hope you have understood the whole poem and it is very easy. I hope this is a story which you like most, and I am just summarizing in a few words that it is the story of the miller and the King Hall of England. Miller was running his mill and he was taking the help from River Dee. That means the water from the River Dee is used to run the mill. And he was very happy. And when he was doing his work from morning till night, he was enjoying his work as well as he was singing a song that he invited nobody and nobody invited him. When King Hall was listening to him, he was enjoying and singing the song. King Hall was asking him why he was enjoying so much and why he was singing this song. Then the miller removed his cap and took off his cap in respect of the king, and because king was near him, and he was saying that he was earning his bread, his livelihood, his everything which he wanted for his life and for living, and he loved his wife, children, and friends, and he earned everything from the mill and was very much thankful to the River Dee, and he had nothing to pay to anybody. He was not in debt. So King Hall was very much satisfied about his life, and he said in reply that his dirty cap was very much valuable than his crown, as well as his mill was so precious than his kingdom. And he was in the last, he was saluting the miller, and he said that England was proud of a man like him. Okay, I hope you have understood till here. Now I'm giving you the key message of the poem, which is also known as central idea of the poem. There is another word which is used here for the central idea, and it is called the theme of the poem. Okay. Now the central idea can be written in some lines. I have written 3 lines here. You can write central idea in the form of paragraph as well. Okay. But I'm showing you in the form of lines so that you can easily understand. You can easily understand, sorry. The poet compares the life of a king with the life of a miller. Here you can see that what I have told you in the beginning, that in this poem there is a comparison of the life of the king with the life of a miller. That means the richest person and here the poor person, or you can see the normal person of England. The life of a common man is better than the life of a powerful man. This is the main theme or the central idea of the poem, that the life of a common man is better than the life of a powerful man, because the common man has no worries. Is living carefree life, but king, as a powerful man, or as a king or as a ruler of England, he has so much worries. He cannot live without worries. He cannot live a carefree life. The third point in the central idea is that the common man lives a peaceful life, comfortable life. He has no worries. But the powerful man lacks the peace of mind because he has so much worries in his mind. I hope you have understood everything very well. Now, I am giving you some time to ask me any questions if you have not understood. Please ask me the questions and write in the chat box whatever you want to ask about the poem, about literature chapters, any of the literature lessons, about language, whatever you want to ask, because I hope, I think this is the last online class before your prelims. So please, if you want to ask me anything, you are allowed to ask. Write in the chat box. Within that time, I will mark your attendance. Okay? So write in the chat box. I will reply you soon. Do you want to ask anything? Okay. Nida, what do you want to ask about the paper pattern or about the summary writing? If I will give you the summary, so it may be possible that I will give any one stanza or 2 stanzas, okay, of poems. You know that you have done the paraphrasing as well. So I can give you paraphrasing as well as summary writing, both things. You should know about the central idea as well. No, Nawal, you are not understanding that he was saying Miller was wrong. King Hall was saying Miller was wrong because he thought that why Miller was so much poor person and he had no facilities of life. So he understood that, he thought that Miller was wrong. He, and because of that, he was saying that Miller was wrong. He was not so much happy. Miller, he has not said that Miller is the king. He was comparing his life to the Miller. Okay? He was asking Miller, first of all. He was said, Miller was not said, but he was saying that king was said. Okay, he thought, actually king was saying that even he was a king, he has all facilities of life. If he was so much sad and he has so much worries, so why Miller is so simple and why he was so much carefree, and why he was living peaceful and comfortable life? I hope you have understood, Nawal. Anything which you want to ask, any one of you, please reply. Ask in the chat box, write in the chat box, please. I am waiting. Yes, because of that, because king was not realizing that without the facilities of life, the person can become happy. King was thinking that if the facilities of life or everything uh, is present there in the life of everybody, then he would be happy. Anything which you want to ask? Only 5 minutes are left. Please tell me if you want to ask anything. This is a poem based on reality. Yes, Nava. It is actually the reality. Those people who are running towards the facilities or towards the money, then they do not become happy anytime. They cannot become happy. They cannot be happy in their lives if they are running after the money. We have to be in limits. How much we have earned, so we should be in limits. Anything which you want to ask? Okay, I'm telling you about your prelim paper, that you know that English paper is of 100 marks, and you should know that the new pattern which has been given by the board, it is divided into again three parts or three sections. The first section will be of MCQs, and there will be 50 MCQs. So you should be very careful when you are attempting the MCQs, because these are of 50 marks. It means half paper is of MCQs. Okay, so you should be very careful when you are attempting the MCQs, because you know that in 9th class we are not giving you second chance. There is no model paper given by the board. Okay, model paper has not been given. They have just given the instructions to divide the paper into three sections. First section is of MCQs, which is of 50 marks. It means 50 MCQs. Second section is of short question answers, where I think there will be 6 short question answers of 30 marks. And in the section C, which is long question answers section, and it is of 20 marks, in which 2 questions will be there. Okay, easy pattern is there, but they have not given in the form of any document. So if it will be given in the form of document, then I will share with you. But remember this thing, the first portion is of 50 marks about MCQs, second portion short question answers, and third portion, or you can say section, is long question answers. Okay, and everything which I have uh, taught you from the beginning till the end of the session, everything comes in the prayer. Okay, so you should prepare everything from the book, from your journals of English literature and English language. Okay, and do practice of writing the essays, letters, and applications as well. whatever I have told you, go through the videos I have already uploaded on the YouTube, so that if you want to repeat anything, you will get from them. Okay. And one more thing which I want to tell you, that the assignment about the summary of the poem, I will upload today. So you should have completed it. You should complete it uh, during these two holidays, that Friday, Saturday and Friday and Saturday, or you will have Sunday also. So complete this assignment in your literature journals and submit in the next week so that I will check. And one more thing I will tell you again, you can take any poem from the net and then try to write the summary. Okay. Or you can use the poem which has been given for paraphrasing as well. No, you will not have to read the things from the old book, but the chapters which are also included in the new book, or you can read those chapters from the old book as well, so that if any information which has been missed, you can get that information from them. Okay, from the old book as well, or from the working which has been given in the literature journals. Now, one more thing I want to tell you, that if you have any checking left in your language and literature copies, please do give me for checking. You can also bring these copies for checking during your prelims, before your English prelim. But remember this thing. I think your paper will be on 9th April. So there's a lot of time for checking those copies or those journals if you will submit me. Anything else which you want to ask? Because only 2 minutes are left. I hope you have understood everything. Remember to complete the assignment which I will upload today in your English literature journals. I hope you have understood the poem. It is a very beautiful poem, very interesting story given in the poem. The theme of the poem is very nice. I hope you have understood the poem as well as all previous lessons we have done. If you want to ask anything, please ask me now, or even in the class, physical class, you can ask me. Okay? Now only 1 minute is left. Nothing to ask. Okay, I hope you have understood everything. So I want to stop here. Okay, Allah Hafiz. We will meet in the physical class. No, paraphrasing is different. We are writing in short form and summary is little bit longer. Okay, I hope you have understood everything. I want to stop here. Okay, Allah Hafiz.